My name's Ken Finnan, and my job is to get you past all the exams. And the number one question I get before I do my live, so I'm hoping to save some time and make it less chaotic, is what do I do? I'm taking the test tomorrow or 2 weeks or whatever it is. So let's, first of all, if you're taking it tomorrow, too late, you're fucked. Okay? No, I'm kidding around. Get some sleep. If you're taking it tomorrow, you should not be on my live. You should be getting sleep and you should be going over customer accounts. Literally any exam you take, literally any exam, you should probably read customer accounts. I have crash course videos you can watch, playlists you can watch. Go watch those and get some sleep. If you have a significant other, make sure they do the right thing or ask them to do the right thing. And you don't want to make them do anything, but you ask them. Just massage, that's all I'm talking about. Just keep you relaxed, no fighting, stuff like that. Now, if you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so if you're taking it tomorrow, what are you doing out here? Get off here, click and get out of here. If you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so let's say you're taking it in 2 days. Tomorrow is no testing. It's adding knowledge, reading customer accounts, going over videos, hopefully my crash course videos or others. Bottom line is you don't want to stress yourself out. You don't want to take a test. I'm not a fan of testing. Some people like it. I disagree with it because if you go bad, there's no upside. If it goes bad for you, you're screwed. So I say, don't take a test tomorrow. Take it easy. Around dinner time, you're done. I don't care if you're taking the test at 5 o'clock at night. At dinner time, you're done. Okay? Don't do anything. Again, the night before is always kind of go out to dinner. Don't go, pounding, going fireballs, but just literally go out to dinner, maybe talk to people who aren't involved in it, who don't care about the test, don't want to hear it. You want to do stuff that just relax you. If you have SDC or Notman, they have these little sheets that you can go through. Maybe the day before, make sure you go over it like hot sheets or key topic stuff or crunch time facts. Again, I have crash course playlists, a whole playlist on almost every test you can take. Now, let's say you're taking it more than 2 days out. So what you want to do is within the up to, but not including the last, I don't even know if that's right. The last 8 to 10 days is testing. Okay. Before that, you're reading and quizzing and testing, all that. A lot of focus on reading, mostly focus on reading, watching videos, adding knowledge. But in the last 8 days, not including the day before, so whatever that is, so 10 days before, you're going to take tests every day. One test, not two. If it's a 63 of the SIE, maybe you can take two. But again, I don't think it works so well. Oh, I feel the heat on my back. I really just want to turn around and take a dive. The problem is when I go in there, there's a manatee warning. The boats have to go around me. I have to wear a flag saying manatee, don't hit me, stuff like that. Now, up to but not including the day before the test, you are to take one final a day. Now, remember something. When you do a final, review the whole thing, not just the wrong answers. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of do a triage. There's really 3 or 4 choices. You look them over. If you got it right for the right reason, you're good. Move on. Make sure you read the answer why. Okay. 2, if you got it right for the wrong reason, mark that down. You have to review it because if you got it right because you guessed, that's just as bad as a wrong. Almost more dangerous, right? Because you think you got it. 2, if you got it wrong because you misread it, which happens with the Kaplan, Past Perfect, STC, even Achievable, all of them, you can misread it. If you get it wrong because you misread it, but you knew the concept, don't worry about it. The last one is you got it wrong because you didn't know your shit. That you have to review. So really, you're going to have 4 choices, mark them all. And then if you got it right for the right reason or wrong because you misread it, but you understand the concept, don't worry about it. The ones you have to review are the ones you got right for the right reason. And then the ones you got for the wrong reason, the ones you got for the wrong reason. See, when I talk too fast, my brain is here, my mouth is here, and they're not in conjunction. And then ones you got right for the wrong reason, like guessing, and then you got to be honest with yourself. Don't be like, oh, I think I know it. Or the ones you got wrong for the right reason. I guess the right reason to be wrong, you don't know it. If you're starting to memorize questions, buy another QBank. STCS 4 supplemental exams. If you want, buy Kaplan. But again, you don't want to add a new QBank in the last few days. You want to do it out so you can literally get used to the question because you don't want to switch it up the day before. Again, you need to go in there like a badass. You need to go into the test like I'm going to fucking own this shit and you're going to run it, okay? You got to go in there confident. You got to understand that if you go in there confident, if you go into this test as a confident badass, not cocky, confident, I know my shit, then when you see a hard question, you're going to go, oh, I can do this, okay? And you can work through it or even mark for review, shit like that. If you go in there where you're not sure and you're like, oh, I'm afraid, then every hard question is going to look to you like, see, I knew I should have waited. And that's a bad thing because you won't try it. I've seen that so many times where if you give someone positive confirmation of good work, they're willing to work a little bit harder on the question. If you're like, oh, I'm not ready, they go, oh, I knew I wasn't ready. They give up. We don't want give up. We want you to attack it like you know your shit, okay? And that's literally it. You maybe want to watch some of my exam walkthrough videos, join my live, but not the night before. I don't want to see you the night before. I want to see you after you pass so we can play a song for you and blow it out your ass, okay? Good. Okay, everyone, go beat this thing. You got this. I believe in you. I 100% believe in you. And you need to say every morning, get up in the morning, brush your teeth with your offhand, even if you want to brush your teeth with your foot, and keep saying, I'm going to pass this. I'm going to pass it. Say it like 10 times with confidence. Not I need to pass it. Not I gotta pass it. I'm going to pass it. That's your goal. Go beat this thing. We got it, baby. And we're back. Okay, welcome. Happy, is it Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday, right? It's Ken Finnan from Capital Advantage Tutoring and Jeff from Capital Advantage Tutoring, my COO and partner in crime. He is the one who keeps me from spending all the money and keeps me probably somewhat sane in this shit. Okay, so now, super happy to be here. Again, my two favorite nights of the week are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope everyone's doing well. I am super happy to be here. Again, this is always my favorite nights. Couple quick things. Remember, check out Achievable. I have links for them if you want a little bit of a discount. Achievable. If you don't want to use my link and go fuck me, just go to achievable.me. Just go right around me. Do the end around. Mike LaRosa, shut the fuck up. Now, you see what he's saying? He's taking the 79. We have a tutor for that too. You can pay him, not me. Now, check out achievable.me. They're awesome. And for any of these exams, they're great. And then also you can check out STC. I got a link for a discount. You get that. It's like a 15% discount. On the other side of that, check out, if you need tutoring, we have Capital Advantage Tutoring. And where's your thing? There it is. Across the bottom, if you have any questions about tutoring or any of them, the memberships that we do, remember, the memberships we do are fucking outstanding. The memberships, every week we meet for like $50 a month. We meet at 7 p.m. for the FINRA stuff and 8 p.m. for options. My options will change your life. If you're too fucking cheap to pay the $50, you can do just videos for $20 a month. And I have like 23 videos behind the paywall, and they're going to rock you, okay? They're absolutely going to nail you. Okay, so now, also, we have tutors. I have 2 tutors. I'm adding 2 more over the next 2 weeks. We're going to rock this out. And, okay. There you go. There you go, Gordo. Okay, so now, we're going to keep moving on this. So now that moving on, if you need tutoring and you don't want to go through me, why you wouldn't, I don't know. But if you do, there's another great tutor out there, Michael Weiss at Serious70smtutor.com. He's outstanding. And I'll mention the memberships probably later in the thing, but let's get going. Okay, let's get into this. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Jay Christofferson. Any relation to Chris? Okay. Let's see. No one knows who I'm talking about when I say that. Okay. Not sure if you remember me, but I'm back on my 3rd attempt in using Past Perfect with a coach. Okay. You're scoring mid-70s. Yeah. I think if you're mid-70s, okay. If you're mid-70s on Past Perfect, you're probably okay. That's probably a fair one. Okay. I think if you're doing that one, you're probably in a good shape. Now, remember, if you're memorizing, no, it sucks. If you're memorizing answers, then no, you're not ready. You got to go to a different vendor, either go to Kaplan and get the QBank, and Michael Weiss has a link, or you go to STC, you buy the supplemental exams. I have a link for that with a 15% off, and I think that works. If you're mid-70s and you're understanding it and it's the complicated shit that's fucking you up, you're good. If it's the hard shit, if it's like if you're memorizing, then you're probably going to find another vendor. Here's what you want to know if you're ready. Go onto my playlist, find the exam walkthrough playlist. The last Series 7 video I did, I think it's called Can You Beat This? It's one of the last long videos I did. Take that exam. If you pass that and you do well on that, you're in good shape. Okay. I'm studying for the 7. I'm worried about options. Okay. TM. So here's the thing. So are you using my option method? Okay. That's the question. Are you using my option? By the way, I want to say one thing. If you've asked a question, I will get to it. I will not skip your answer. So even if it's like 15, 20 minutes later, I will get to it. So hang out, take a nap or something. I'll say your name and go wake up and you can do it. I don't care what you do. Just stay on and don't leave, because I feel bad when I answer a question and they go, did you answer my question yet? Okay. So if you haven't, one, again, it's big picture. So half the questions on options will be theory. The other half will be like math, okay? Maybe even more theory than less math. I don't even know where it's going to go. But get, if you're okay on the understanding it, you're fine. But if not, join the membership, pay the $20, do the math problems. They will, I promise you, they will make you wish. Every one of my students wishes the entire test was options. I had Leah, who was so worried about taking it. She said they were cake, even though she was freaking out before. Leah passed it on her third time. Everything was on the line for her, and she nailed it. Okay. Jacob Ferrari. Boom. Jacob Lamborghini. I got it. Okay. Did you ever see that? Did you see the Ford versus Ferrari movie?
Yeah, like 100 times. I think it's
one of the best. I fucking love that movie.
One of the best. Funny,
I looked up. It sucks that they really did that to that guy at the end where they didn't let him win.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and I didn't know it was like it was like, oh, let's do it together. And they say that guy knew. I know nobody knows what I'm talking about. They say the guy who did that knew that he was doing that to them because he knew it was distance. Okay. So anyway, Jacob, that is awesome. I don't mean to take away from you, but you have the name. It makes me talk about shit.
Go. Oh, cha cha ching ching. Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
Okay, good stuff. I love it. Made you listen to the whole thing. Okay, Mike, no. No. He knows. He's one of my tutors now. He's teaching the SIE. So if you guys want a good tutor, I have my brother on there. He's at $120. He's been doing it for a while. Michael's pretty new, but he's charging $50, a basement bargain price. He's worth more than that, but we're getting him in there. Okay. Oh, Kalani. Mikahinio Kalani. Okay, Kiani. Boom, congrats.
Not even close.
I know, it doesn't even close. So she gets a good one.
Gotta get dip. Gotta get dip. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta get.
Boom, baby. That's awesome. Congrats. Now you're taking the 6th Friday. Make sure, and I promise you, I know somebody else said something, but I will get back to you. I'll touch Alyssa. I will hit SMA. Hang out, baby. The 6, make sure you got the mutual funds down. Make sure you got the annuities down. Make sure you got communication down. If you have those 3 things for the most part, you should be fine. Okay.
One thing here. It's a retake, and they passed the 63.
Right.
So
that's awesome.
Probably, if Kiani wants to put a note in there, I'm curious to know if he didn't when he didn't pass the 6, if he studied for the 63 and then went back to the 6. Because we talk about this all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So Kiani, I think the same. See, it's funny. On the side, it looks like an L, but here it looks like an I. If you see her answer, let me know.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so now, Alyssa. Okay, so SMA. So SMA is your excess equity. It's like it can change from that, but let's just think of it as excess equity. It's like a HELOC. It's an equity. It's like a home equity loan based on your margin account. So if you buy stock, let's do the math, everyone. Everyone write this down if you're doing the 7. Let's say you have pencils up. If you have a market value of 50 grand and your debit, what you owe is 20. So you have a market value of 50, a debit of 20. Your equity is 30 grand. Do we agree on that? 50 grand market, 20 debit, what you owe, market minus debit is your equity. You have an equity of 30 grand. We're good. Remember that, 30 grand. I feel like one of these people doing a magic trick. Remember, 30 grand. Remember your number. Now, the question is, how much can I borrow? How much can I take out of the account? So here's the question. If you have a market value of 50, how much do they want you to have in the account? How much do they want you to have in the account? Yes, they want you to have 50% because that's rate T set by the Federal Reserve. They want you to have 50% of equity. So 50% of 50 grand is 25 grand in most books. So 25 grand is the equity they would like us to have in the account. We have 30, Alyssa. That means we have 5 grand extra. Remember, we have 30 grand in equity. They want 25. That's half of 50. So we have 5 grand of SMA. That's SMA. That's what we can borrow. We can withdraw, whatever. However, if we want to buy more stock, we can buy double that amount because it's like cash. Okay. So your buying power is 10 grand. Your SMA is 5 grand. Hope that helps, Alyssa. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Done with the book, taking mini quizzes. Notice 2 quizzes got 16. Oh, 30.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that 30, that's the thing, Gordo. Okay. I think so. And anything, I tell everyone, if you take the chapter quizzes, anything under 70, reread the chapter. Anything under 70, reread the chapter. Okay. If you're between 75 and 70, watch the video. If you're over 70, if you're over 75, you're good to go. So again, if you're under 70, reread the chapter. If you're over, okay, if you're over 70 but under 75, maybe watch the video. We're going to get you there, Gordo. Okay. Now, ESOPs. Okay, what's an ESOP? Okay. It's a qualified retirement plan, like a 401k. It basically just buys employer stock. Okay. It's like a retirement plan where you start buying the employer stock. The employer funds it. Okay. So basically it's always funded by the employer. The employers don't do anything into it, but they get allocation. The employees get allocations based on how long they've been in the company and stuff like that. And that is an ESOP, employer stock purchase. Now, unless they're talking about a money purchase plan, okay? A money purchase plan is where they put money in, and whatever the employer agrees to put in, they must put in. They don't get to change their mind. It's not a maybe, it's a definite. Okay. Hedging with options. You know I won't do the math, Alexa, but I will talk about it. Let's talk about it. So if you buy stock, what do you want to happen? You want it to go up. What are you afraid is going to happen? It's going to do what my stocks do, go down. So wouldn't it be nice that even if you own stock and it went to zero, you could still sell it at a fair price? Why, yes. So what option would give me the right to sell? Put. So I'd buy a put. So if I'm long stock, I buy a put for protection. And now, if they want to do break even, it's always stock, not the strike, plus or minus the premium. So if it's a buy stock, buy put, 2 buys, I add. So I'm going to add them. Okay. So now that's the deal here. So if I buy stock, buy a put, I'm buying both. I add the stock to the premium. So if I buy 100 shares at 50 and buy a 40 put at 3, it's 50 plus 3. My break even is 53. And I'm still bullish. However, if I'm long stock and I want income, remember, you buy for protection, you sell for income. I buy for protection, sell for income. So if I'm long stock, I'm going to sell a call. Again, if I'm long stock, I'm going to sell a call. To put money in my pocket, I'm taking in the premium. Now remember, so again, it's stock plus or minus premium. But this time it's a buy and a sell. Buy stock, sell a call. I subtract the premium now. So instead of adding the premium, I subtract. So if I buy 100 shares at 50 and I sell at 55, call 2. 50 minus 2 is 48. That's my break even. But I'm still bullish. Again, if I'm long stock, I buy a put for protection or I sell a call for income. Those are the only 2 choices. Now, if I'm not going to go into that one, but if I'm short stock, I buy a call for protection and sell a put for income. So we see a pattern here. If I'm long stock, I do bearish options. If I'm short stock, I do bullish options. I have to do the opposite. And remember, if I'm protecting, I'm buying an option. If I'm getting income, I'm selling. Okay. Now, beta versus alpha. Okay. So I'm an alpha. Okay. I'm an alpha. All you guys are betas. No. Alpha, or to the nerds, the alpha betas. Right? Okay. So beta is how much the market moves. You know, it's funny that everyone says that they could never do that movie now.
Showing your age.
I know. It's what a great movie. Okay. I remember when you in high school, did they have a big thing with everyone was dressing like nerds for a while? That like our Halloween, everyone wanted to be a nerd. It was weird. So it's such a big deal. Nowadays, it doesn't fucking matter. Okay. Beta. Let's go into this. Beta is basically how much your portfolio will move or what you're expected to do compared to the market. So I have videos on this, lots of videos on this. But if I have the market goes up 12% and I have a beta of 1.5, I will do 1 point, and Parker, you're next. I will buy what am I doing? I'm reading a stupid thing. If I have a beta 1.5 and the market goes up 12%, I multiply the beta times the 12, okay? I multiply the beta times the 12. So I will do 12 times 1.5, Okay. I will do 12 times 1.5. So I'm expected to do 18%. That's my expected. That's CAPM. In reality, that's CAPM, capital asset pricing model. Now, however, that's what I'm expected to do. What if I do 21%? Aren't I doing better? I'm doing 3 points better. That's alpha. Alpha is what you're doing better or worse than expected. Now, questions on the test. They may not do the math, but they may go this. If you have a beta of over 1, you're more volatile than the market. If you have a beta between 0 and 1, you're less volatile than the market. It's more conservative. So conservatives buy between 0 and 1 beta, and then speculators buy anything over 1. Parker. Okay. Look at this. TC. TC, you're up. Oh, look at this. A bunch of people. Boom. I'm glad my videos help, Parker. I think they're helpful. I'd hate to think they weren't helping you. You get market. Boom, baby, Parker. Now, this is what I ask everyone. I don't need to know what's on the exam. Please hope you're on here. I want to know, what was there a surprise? Were there any surprises? I don't even know the questions. So don't get yourself in trouble. But I ask everyone who passed, if you come on here, I care what's on it. I do. But I want to know, were there any surprises? Because I know it's going to be on it 99% of the time. But the question is there shit showing up that we're not covering? That's the big thing. Okay. It's going to be a bunch of music in a row. Okay. Past, baby. Let's see, baby. The SIE. I'm going to give you a little.
You'll never take me alive.
Boom, baby. I love it. TC, you earned that. Okay. Because I'm telling you right now, again, the SIE, it's funny. The SIE is easier than the 7, obviously. But sometimes it's harder because it's a gatekeeping one. It's the one where you're learning the language, you're learning how to take it. The 7's harder, but you've already taken the exam. You know what the wording looks like. You've been in the business. You've been studying for longer. SIE is the first one in there, and you're like, crap, what the hell did I agree to? Okay. Balti, I was waiting for this, baby. I was waiting for this. I knew that. Boom, I love it. Yeah, as I tell everyone, a lot of people go, I'm the reason you passed. No, I'm not. I helped you. You earned it, baby. You guys definitely earned this shit. Where do I go with this one?
Dala tu cuerpo alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para dar la alegría y cosa buena. Dala tu cuerpo alegría.
Okay, here we go. Now, let's get to some questions. Okay. Now, okay, nor they do not work with each other. I promise you that. Okay, nor the bonds, Freddie and Fannie, Ginny, they don't work with each other. They're not competitors, but they don't work with each other. So these are mortgage-backed securities. I am not going to spend 10 minutes going over it. I have videos on what they do. So I'm going to let you know that they do that. So there's no say. Look, the vendors love the word plain vanilla CMO. It just means a CMO that doesn't have any, like, what do you want to call it? Any, hold on, I'm trying to get the video while we do it. Okay. They don't have any extra things like companion classes on it. Okay. What the hell is a CMO? Let's see if it shows up. There it is. There's my video. Okay. So, Noor, I'm sending this right here. Boom. I just put the CMO video in the chat. Okay. Okay.
Are they referring to, I think the person might be referring to the debt of Fannie, Freddie, Ginny.
Yeah, I'm going to do that because they talked about bonds, right? I'm going to get.
But Ginny doesn't. I don't think Ginny Mae issues debt, do they? It's just Fannie, Freddie, Home Loan Bank. Not
right.
Ginny Mae would be a mortgage.
Right. So Ginny Mae, Fannie Mae, Freddie are all mortgage backed, right?
Yep.
So they do mortgage backed securities, but they issue bonds to raise money.
Right.
Right. So that's what they're talking about. They're not going to. Just it's a regular bond. Don't worry about that. Okay. Don't worry about that too much. Just know that here's the thing. This is what you need to know. Watch that video. But secondly, Ginny Mae is backed by the government, which means if I have a mortgage and the mortgage fails, what happens is they use the house to pay it back. If there's not enough money, they go to Ginny Mae to get the money. If there's not enough money there, boom, they go to the government. So the lender does not have any default risk really because there's a government backing. Fannie and Freddie, it's just the house and then the agency, maybe the government. And then if it's a private activity one, it's literally the house. So if you have a mortgage, that's why in the 2008 it was risky because they were underwater. The mortgages were higher than the what they could sell the house for. So if the person left, they could if the person left, if they tried to sell the house, they might get less than they owe, and then they're screwed. So that's why it was a big deal that these houses are underwater. Okay. I still think when I was talking to Kramer during that thing, you know how we paid off all the banks? I think I did the math. And if they had just paid down everyone's mortgages instead, it would have been the same amount, maybe a little bit less than what they gave to the banks. And then I think, okay, well, what's the bad part? You pay off everything. But the rule would have been, I would have said this, pay off the mortgages. But the rule is you can't refinance until you pay back what the government paid you. And you can't sell it till then. So at least so you have a house. Okay, now on backwards. Okay. MSRB rules. So Noor, go watch that CMO thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait. MSRB, it's always the first call date. Should not be the furthest. It should be the first. Alexa, if you see somewhere that it's the furthest one, hit me, come back, shoot me a text where you see it. But whenever they yield, if it's a premium bond, we always do the closest call date, the first call date. If it's a discount bond, we do yield to maturity because we do. Oh, there it is. She did write it. Never mind. Okay. Yes, it's the first call date because that's when it's going to happen. So remember, the in-whole call date is when they buy the whole thing back. There are different types of calls, right? We have a call where they buy back some of it, like a little bit at a time. Then we have other ones where they buy back the whole thing. Okay. So if they buy back the whole thing, then the bond's gone. So you would have to quote it to that one. So because of premium bonds, why does a bond become a premium? Because yields went down, the price of your shit goes up, it's worth more. So issuers are more likely to call bonds when they're premiums because rates have dropped. So if it's a premium, it's likely to be called. So they're gonna call it on the first call date because that's worst case scenario. Always remember when we're quoting shit, it's the worst case scenario. Like if we quote mutual funds, we don't quote the minimum sales charge, we quote the maximum sales charge. When we do returns, we do returns. We don't do gross, we do after costs. So we have to give everyone the worst case scenario or a managed scenario that it's worse than worst case is default. But as far as yields go, if you have a premium bond and it gets called earlier, that's a bad thing. Okay.
So with that one, it's just discount, par, premium, and then you back into the yield.
Yep, exactly. So discount, you yield to maturity. Par, you do yield to maturity. And then premium, do yield to call, if it's callable.
Exactly.
And remember, the long-term bonds are more volatile than short-term bonds. Okay. Yeah, Balti, I think the other guy, the SA, I know you nailed it. Okay. Okay, Gordo, I have basically what I talked about before is most of the theory. Find my option strategy guide. It'll help you. Again, it's just reading. If the math you're good, then you're probably fine. But hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's funny. I did it. The video was so good, my options one, that YouTube took it down because they thought I was helping people cheat. Crazy. I had 2 videos in a row that they took down because I thought I was helping people cheat. I'm trying to find that video. One day I'll have a link thing for my videos. I wish I could spell my own name.
2 N's.
Yeah, no, it's actually Capital Advantage. That's what I'm looking for. Where the fuck is it? Why does it give me the playlist? Okay. Nope. They're going to put me right into the playlist. Okay. Oh, maybe it's in here. Let's see. There it is, baby. Okay. I'll leave that open. It's not a member one. This is a free one. Some of my option stuff, all my good option shit, this is the option. Gordo, watch this one, see if it helps. Okay. Okay, let me go. We got some good stuff. Okay. Suzanne, we got that. Okay. Oh, I'm way behind now. Okay. Okay, Alyssa, limit orders and stop orders. What do I tell everyone? I will not fucking do that. Okay. I will not do slobs over bliss. But because I'm a really nice guy, I will obviously put the video in here. Because remember, Jeff and I were talking about getting, what do you call it? Getting a list of videos where you can just pop them in when we need them. So one day we'll get that. And this is definitely the one we talk about. I refuse to do slobs over bliss because it takes so long. Boom. Okay. Alexa, aren't I seeing you tomorrow night? Okay. 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 Oh, Alexa is a good question. Okay. 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 I will talk about this. So remember this. So this is for Alyssa too. Watch that video. Stop orders get elected. Limits and markets don't. Market order is literally, I want to buy the fucking thing. I want to sell it and it gets done right away. So if I say, go buy, I'll explain it this way. Say you're on your way to a party and your shoe breaks on the way there. And lo and behold, there's a Nordstrom there. When you go into that Nordstrom, you are not worrying about price. You're just buying you're buying shoes. That's a market order. You walk in there, I just want to buy it. Like I bought Applied Digital today. So that means it's going to drop like a fucking rock tomorrow. But it's $5, so it's going to go so bad. So I didn't buy it at a limit. I just bought it at the market. I bought it at whatever price it was. When you enter the order, it's going to be executed. That's what market orders do. Stops get elected or triggered. Not stops get elected, limits don't. Stops get triggered, limits don't. Okay.
Did you work that 100-share order?
Yeah, I told them to work it hard. Yeah, exactly.
Not held?
Well, okay, so that's a question. So if I bought 80 shares, what's that called?
A market order?
Oh, no, what is it called if I only buy 80 shares? As opposed to 100.
It's not a round lot.
Yeah, so it's an odd lot, right?
Odd lot, yeah.
Odd lot. So that's a question. So now,
and
that's not
reportable to the tape.
So what is odd lot theory? Do you remember that?
It's, well, obviously anything under 100.
So odd lot theory, right, is a contraindicator, right? Who buys odd lots? People, idiots like us, right? Retail.
Yeah.
So we're always wrong, right? So odd lot theory is if you see a lot of odd lot buying, it's time to sell. If you see a lot selling, it's time to buy.
Oh,
okay. There you go.
What about it with reporting to the tape?
None of that gets reported to the tape.
Right. I just want to point.
So that's the thing. Normal people can't see it. Traders can see it. You can see odd lot trading, but you can't see. It doesn't show up in the tape. There's a way to see it if you have a system. Okay. 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 That would be wrong, Alexa. Client short-term interest rates falling. Oh, here's the thing. So here's my thing on this. If I think this is wrong. Because if rates are going up, I'm going to buy calls. If rates are going down, I'm going to buy puts. Because remember, interest rate options are options on the yield, not the bond. Interest rate options are options on the yield, not the bond. So if you want a bunch of bonds, you're worried the rates are going to go up and your price goes down. So you'll buy calls to hedge. Literally, on this test, you could probably say, if you see interest rate hedging, it's buying calls. Because you're not worried about the price. You're not really worried about the rates going down. Because if you own the bond and the rates go down, your price goes up. That's not a bad. You get reinvestment risk and call risk, but the price of the bond goes up. So the hedging wouldn't help you. So you buy calls. So if interest rates are falling, I don't know why someone would buy a put. I don't see a reason because if you think rates are going up, you're going to buy. If rates are going to go up, you buy calls. If rates are going to go down, you're going to buy puts. So I don't know where that is. Okay. Class A, B, and C. I have a great video on that. But look, this is a way to remember. There are 4 ways to get into 4 ways to get into a mutual fund. Now, remember, this is 4 different ways. Well, let's not go with the no load. But A, B, and C are the 3 ways to get into the same mutual fund. So Class A is you pay the sales charge up front, but you have breakpoints. So it's long-term a lot of money because there's lower ongoing fees, lower 12B1 fees, which are marketing fees, but we have a sales charge. But the more you put in, the lower I do. That's a breakpoint, right? Okay, which they don't offer at investment clubs. Breakpoints are good. Not the same as breakpoint selling. Breakpoint selling is when you're a rep and you try to keep someone under the breakpoint to charge them more money. Now, that's A. B is a contingent deferred, which means it pays on the back end. But the longer you stay, the contingent on how long you stay, it drops. So after like 5-6 years, it goes away. And a lot of times they turn it into A, but I think B's are kind of gone. But A is front end load. B is back end. You pay when you leave. It's better for midterm, 5 to 10 years. And then C is no sales charge. You cannot call it a no load. It has like what they call a level load, where you're paying like 1% a year, like the 12B1 fee every year. That's for short term. So class C is for short term. Class C is for cookie. B is for back end. A is for front end. I have a rhyme on that. I've done that. I've done the rhyme. You go find my mutual fund class share mutual fund poem, my Dr. Seuss level shit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Michael is definitely used to be in the Zoom classes. Okay. Jenna. Okay. Now, Jenna, baby. Okay. Dominique, hold on. We got to talk to Dominique after. Definitely. Hopefully she's still on here because her friend beat the crap out of this test under incredible stress. Okay, now. And she's going to pull Dominique and Aaron with her. Now, Jenna, we got this. You're testing Thursday. That means tomorrow night, you're done. Dinner time, you're done. Tomorrow, watch the crash course. Read customer accounts, no matter what test you're taking. Go out to dinner. Go get laid. Get a massage. Whatever it is, the night before, just hang out and just do something non-test related after dinner. And you're going to rock this thing. So, Jenna, I need you to tell me you're going to pass it. And Aaron, I need you to tell me you're going to pass it. I know I've heard you say it, but I need it again. Okay. I don't know. There's no such thing as $14 minimum maintenance. So short margin, this is what it is. So I need more information, but if I'm short stock, the minimum maintenance is 30%. It's also $2,000. So if I sell short 100 shares at 14, I'm only bringing in $1,400, which means I still have to drop $2,000. That's the minimum maintenance. Now, if I buy $1,400 worth of stock, the most I could lose is the $1,400. So I don't have to put down $1,400. So remember, if I buy less than $2,000, I just have to put down the 100%. If I short less than $2,000, I'm never less than $2,000 no matter what. That should help a little bit, I think. I don't know what the 14 is, but it's probably wrapped around that. Okay. This is easy. Technical versus fundamental. Think technical analyst is looking at trading, support, resistance, momentum, price trends, stuff like that. They're looking at overbought, oversold, rate, like advanced decline ratios. Their technical is trading. Fundamental looks at the actual company, PE ratio, income statements, balance sheets, top down, which is start at the economy and work your way down. Bottom up, you start at the stock and work your way. If you're top down, you start with the economy, then you drop to the sector, the industry, to the stock to make a decision. Bottom up, you start at the bottom. That sounds like a Queen song, Fat Bottom Girls, right? So now we got single stock. Bottom up is single stock, then the industry, then the sector, then the economy to make decisions. So top down, the economy drives what we do. Bottom up, the stock drives what we do. Okay.
Also,
but that's fundamental.
Technical, I would say, is charting. Fundamental is numbers, balance sheets.
Yep. Quantitative, qualitative, all that shit. Yep. Good. Perfect. Okay. Dominique. Now Dominique's going to take this in a little bit, and she's going to rock this thing. Her and Leah and Aaron. Well, Aaron's awesome. Dominique and Leah are moms who have to do this shit kind of on their own while they're taking care of kids. That's some Wonder Woman superhero shit. It really is. Okay. And Dominique is going to beat this thing, and then she's going to beat the 24 and beat all this shit. Okay. Yes, Jake, absolutely. Go take the exam. No, I'm not the fucking man. How can I be the man when you're the fucking man, Jake? Okay. Okay. Auction rate securities. Didn't I do this last Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes. So auction rate, I'm not going to go heavy into it, but auction rate securities. So first of all, Nora, after I do this, go watch my fucking live from last week. Auction rate securities, they adjust the rate. So they're adjustable rate, but they adjust based on an auction. Every 7, 14, 21, 28 days, they do an auction to sell the auction rates.
What type
if
of
you want to
auction?
sell your bond. What?
What type of auction is it called?
Auction rate security. What? Oh, a Dutch auction, right?
Dutch auction.
Yes. So they all wear wooden shoes when they do this. So it's fun. So now, and they wear with the tulips. I have a video on Dutch auction. You can find it. Okay. So now we have auction rate securities every 7, 14, 28 days, whatever. I think one of them they don't do, like 21 they don't do or something like that. It's weird. So if you want to sell your auction rate security, your ARS, you have to sell it in the auction. And that auction determines what you sell it at and what the interest rate going for the next 2 weeks is. The problem with that, and the last time it happened is 2009, and I do think they're gone. I think they got rid of them because the VRDOs are so much fucking better. But I think Jeff told me it failed. I think 2009 there was the only time it ever failed. And Alyssa, you're up next. So it failed, and that here's the problem with a fail. Look, I lived my whole life failing. My entire high school, college career, I modeled myself after D-Day from Animal House. You ever see that when they walk in, he goes, "You have no grade point average"? That was me. Because now, by the way, real quick, the only reason I got into college is I was driving to an interview down at Stockton, and I'm driving, and this guy older guy, he fell in front of me, like fell on the ground. So I hit him. No, so I stopped and I picked him up and drove him to his house, his dorm or whatever. He was a dean of fucking admissions. So he goes, you want in, you're in. Don't even worry about it. He said, basically, don't even submit your SATs. You're good. He let me in.
That's how you got into college?
Yeah.
Did you follow them?
How is that? What?
It sounds like you were like stalking them.
No. It just worked out. I mean, he fell and I drove past him. I turned around. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was until the end. He asked my name. He said, if I can help you anyway. And then I got a call once. He goes, he found my name in the application list. And he said, you're in, you're, if you want to come here, just come.
So if anybody wants to go to Harvard, just like hang around and follow
Dean over. No, how about this? So this is crazy. So I'm going to tell you, this is how fucking nuts parents are. Okay. So my daughter was at the Princeton lacrosse game. Okay. And they all go, it was a quarterfinals, right? So somebody she knew from high school had like an 11-year-old. And she saw him bending over. I'm not going to give names up, but she saw him bending over, talking to his 11. Listen, look the guy straight in the eye, shake his hand. This is 11-year-old. And then he went over, he brought the kid over to the Princeton athletic director and introduced him. First, he started talking about he played at Amherst or something like that, how great a player he was. And then he said, this is my son. He's a star of I'm not going to say the town, lacrosse team. Fucking 11. Like he was hoping to plant the seed. I'm like, okay, look at his fucking grades. That's Princeton. Yeah, they'll find you. Okay. I'm just saying, it's like college is such a shit show right now. Okay. Anyway, back to this. Okay. So Nora, I hope I help with the ARS. The big thing is they adjust. They're not liquid. Remember, that's the big problem with the ARS is they're not liquid because you can't sell them. If the thing fails, you can't sell them. Yes, most of the time you can, but you can't come out of them until the auction happens. Okay. Now. Okay, Alyssa, let's go over the membership. This is super easy. First of all, it's a month. You sign up through YouTube. It's called Join. Okay. Now you have multiple levels. If you just want to watch my videos, my options videos, the old class videos, not the options one, you can pay $6 a month. You can watch the old classes. That's fine. If you want to jump it up, remember, anytime you go up, you get everything below it. Remember that. Anytime I go up a level, I get everything below it. Second, let me roll up. So now it's funny. I always have to pay attention when you post because it brings me to the bottom, but I got it now. No. It's good because I'm boxed out. I can find it. It's easy. So this next level was like $19 a month. That's all my options videos and the class. Change your goddamn mind. Now, if you go up to the next level, $25, that's called Serious Study. Also, don't do it on your phone. Apple, although I have Apple stock, Apple adds 30%. So if you want to give me an extra 30%, no. But go on your laptop or desktop and do it that way because you don't pay the upcharge from Apple. If you do the $25 a month Serious Study method, you get the 7 class at 7 and everything below it. If you really want to blow it out, you pay the $50 a month. You get all the options below it. You get the FINRA class and then the options class at 8. Okay. Now, so you get the options class, so you get everything. So if you do the math on if that's 4 classes a month, times 2 for $50, it works out to be about, if I could do the math, it's like $6 a class. Where else are you going to get my shit for $6? Okay. And it's, by the way, and it is a Zoom class. Remember that. It is a Zoom class. It is not this. This is fun, but we all know that this is a fucking shit show, right? This is the Zoom class. It's like 10 to 15 people, sometimes more. But they bring questions up. We go back and forth. You're on camera. I have a rule that if you're not on camera, you're dead to me. That's my biggest rule. Okay. Olivia, I'm sorry we took so long to get to you. I'm only at 809. That's how far behind I am.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, Monte Carlo. So Monte Carlo is a place I've been banned. Okay, no, Monte Carlo is where they run various scenarios at a portfolio, okay? They run various scenarios at a portfolio to determine the range of standard deviation of how low it goes and high it goes. So Monte Carlo is literally just them throwing scenarios at all different kinds of, what do you call it? Your portfolio to determine the range, okay? And Olivia, you're going to rock this thing, okay? Okay? Yes, I do. If you're in the mid-70s, Laura, you'll be fine. I do find Notman and Kaplan go a little heavy into the complicated world. They definitely do. Okay. I'm gonna do a little quicker, a little less love. Okay. I'm testing on Saturday using Achievable, pass 1 practice exam. Okay. What test? So, Susan's taking the SIE. Yeah, go take, here's the thing. Susan, you want to see where you are? Go on my exam walkthroughs and go take, I think you're taking the SIE. Go take the ones I take. The first one called the 75 questions. If you pass that, you're ready, Susan. Just remember that, okay? You got to keep taking tasks because you got to find you're ready. But make sure on Friday that you go over you go over risks, the different risks, and then what the register rep can and can't do. I think in Achievable, that's one of the later chapters, but you got to know that shit. It's all over the test. Okay, here we go. I passed the SE in April, and I've been studying this for 3 weeks. Okay. No, don't take it before vacation. Oh, on vacation? Okay. So this is what I tell everyone. If you're on vacation, you're on vacation. Don't study while you're on vacation. Because here's the problem. If you try to study while you're on vacation, you're not going to fucking do it. So don't even pretend. Just own the shit that you won't. Maybe listen to one of the greatest podcasts in the world, meaning Blue Collar Finance, or watch my TikToks under Series 7 Whisperer, or Instagram under Series 7 Whisperer, like the plug. Just do that. Don't try to study during that week. Because if you do, you're not going to do it. You're going to feel guilty and feel shitty about yourself. Go enjoy. If you have till the end of July and you're leaving, when are you going on vacation? Next week. 2 weeks. What the fuck kind of vacation is that? Spoiled rich. Okay, anyway, I'm kidding. So enjoy that shit, okay? Enjoy the 2 weeks. If you want to do if you want to spend a day or two doing it just to keep it fresh, fine. If not, just enjoy your goddamn vacation. Just enjoy it. And then come back and go hard. Susan, I think you're right there. Okay. So it sounds like Kiani is right on that, keeping up the momentum. That's good. Yeah, I think you're close to passing, Susan, but take my exams and see what it is. Okay. Joanne Z. Okay, what do I tell people who tell I'm taking the test tomorrow? Get the fuck off my life. She's probably already gone. She's probably already asleep and everything. But if not, go get some sleep. Be a badass. Read customer accounts tonight if you can. And watch my crash course and bang. And you're going to come on Thursday or next Tuesday and give us a good news that you beat this thing like a bad bitch. Okay. Oh, I see. I saw this, right? He living large, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just catching up to Okay. Jesus loves you for real. Okay. So that's fair. You got him on your side. You're in good shape. You're going to be, okay. So the tips are go through my crash. Since you're not taking it tomorrow, that's great. Tomorrow, do a test. Thursday, go over the crash course, go over any kind of like crunch time facts or anything you have, go over your notes. Remember, make sure you read about trust in estates and joint accounts. It's not that it's huge, but it's there and you don't want to give those shit up. That's all I can tell you. You're going to rock this thing. And you got to go in there confident. But here's the thing with the 66. And I'm not really going into it because that's a Thursday night thing. But the thing about the 66 is it's nuanced. So if you feel you're doing well, go back and check because you might not be doing as well as you think you are. Everyone I know who failed thought they were doing better on the exam. As the opposite of the 7. Everyone who passed, they go like this. I thought I was failing the whole time. Okay, I'm starting to catch up. Okay. Okay, and Porch. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not the GOAT. You're the GOAT. Okay. Gucci. Okay, here we go. Now, back to this. Usually, here's the thing they do, but here's the thing. So if they say portfolio, own it. Here's what you want to do, Alyssa. They do say it, but they kind of hide it. I say this, if you can't figure out whether they're long or short, assume they're long. Or if they say I own the stock, If they say I bought a call and they don't mention the stock, then there's no stock. Like that's the problem sometimes is that people are adding, like I talk with Aaron all the time, you're adding your own shit into the problem, okay? So if they don't mention that you own stock, either don't assume anything or assume you're long it. Because short is like a misnomer. It's kind of a different thing. So my big thing is, if you're, like I look at questions and people are like, where am I long the stock? It doesn't say it. So maybe it's just a single option by itself. And maybe that's what screws you up, Alyssa, that it's not that they didn't mention the stock, that you thought that it should be there and it wasn't. So if they don't mention owning stock or shorting stock, I think you're better off thinking that it's a single option by itself. I think that's the tip. Okay. Yeah, it's hard. Okay. Aaron, thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think it's difficult. Go try my exams on my exam walk. I have a whole exam walkthrough playlist. I could probably get that one out there too, huh? That won't hurt. It's way at the bottom, I think. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Okay, now anyone taking tests and you wanted to practice some, go on there and the one I just sent in, okay? Okay, I'll catch up. Oh, covenants. Okay. Go check that one out, Pamela. Try to do those videos. They're going to help you a lot. And again, if you're taking the SIE, it's the first 6, then the 7. I think I do 166, 165, a couple 63s. I do like 3 or 4 7s. My latest 7 is my greatest creation yet. If you can pass that, you know enough to pass the 7. I'll leave it at that. Okay. And Aaron, thank you for being so good. And she's going to rock this thing, right, Jeff? She's going to kill it. Okay.
Yes.
Failed the Series 7. Okay. Oh, okay. Jason, that's funny. They won't do it. Literally, they'll be like, no. Now, unless you got the ADA. Now, here's the thing. If you had a disability and you got the ADA to write a thing so that they'll let the vape pen in, which they will never do, then you can find a complaint. And by the way, you're going to file the complaint with FINRA, not NASA. Okay? Because that's Series 7 is a FINRA test. But the chances of you getting chances, and I know you're probably fucking around, but the chances of you getting that complaint done is the same chance of when I was younger dating a 10. Okay. Although I married one. Somehow I got, okay. Oh, Jason Dong. I like that. Okay. Boom, I love it. Past the 66. We're going to fuck you. A boom, baby. Jason, that's awesome. The big donger. Okay. Covenants. Okay. So covenants are, try a Zin. That's fair. You could try a Zin. They let you bring gum in. Okay. Covenants are, if you have a revenue bond, there are covenants. I remember crime. CRS. It's a crime that we have to take this test. So crime is covenants. C for covenants. R is your rate. You want to see that they're going to charge a high enough rate to cover the debt service, which is the interest and principal. I, insurance. You want to see insurance on the project in case it goes down. Like 9/11, they did a catastrophe call because all the bondholders go, hey, you got to pay us. And there's no more people paying rent in the World Trade Center, so they got to pay them. M, maintenance, that they're going to keep it up. They're going to keep it going. E, engineering, that they can build the damn thing. Okay. Oh, Parker, thanks. I know it's tough, okay? Boom, that's okay. But I'm glad we got through a lot of this stuff. Okay. Okay. Pamela, I hope you're still here. Okay. Okay. Now be, here's the thing. That's a 65 question. I'll answer it because you probably waited half an hour for that. Okay. What is primary in the SIE? Okay. It's everything, right? But it's going to be some options, some bonds, some stocks. You got to cover everything. Don't worry about the options too much. If you understand the basics of options, like that options matrix I have, buy calls bullish, buy put as bearish, the break evens and max gains, you're probably fine. Again, options, you're going to get maybe 3 questions total. And most of it's going to be like intrinsic value, is it bullish or bearish, or break even for the most part. Let that shit go. But what you really need to focus on, if you're still here, Pamela, is the registered rep stuff, like associated person rules, prohibited activities, all the registered rep stuff, and the risks. That's a lot of the tests. Okay. I'm going to do this real quick for you. I'm not catching up. I'm sort of catching up. I was 40 minutes behind. Now I'm only 30. Okay, here's the deal. here's the deal. Here's what happened. I'm the greatest there ever is. Now, IARs, if you're a solicitor, only the states require solicitors to register. Federal, the SEC does not think of soliciting as giving advice, so they don't register. Only solicitors register with the they only register with the states, and you can't pay them unless they register. And solicitors are just people who find clients for IAs. Okay. AMT is an alternative minimum tax that if you're really rich, they take away your deductions. So that means if normally you buy a GO bond, okay? If you normally buy a GO bond and you get interest, that's fine. You're not going to pay taxes on it. But if you're rich and you buy a revenue bond, you might have to pay taxes on some of that interest. That's what AMT is. That if it's a revenue bond or private activity bond, you might have to pay taxes on some of the interest because AMT kicks in. But it has to be, you have to be really rich and it has to be an AMT bond. GO bonds and public purpose will never, ever, ever have taxable interest. So remember that if somebody's a billionaire, you put them in GOs or public purpose bonds if they want very little interest.
Airport bonds.
What?
Airport bonds, I think, are big for AMT.
Yes, airport bonds definitely are AMT, 100%, because they're for profits. Okay. IRA, there's not going to be a lot of. So Bo, I will not do slobs over bliss. I will do the. I have the video in here somewhere. I did it. I linked it in because I do that so much that it makes me want to unalive myself. Okay, so now IRAs don't really have an income limit unless a Roth does. You don't have to know the number. It's like in the 150s. And an IRA, the only way you have a limit is if you have a corporate plan at work and you make a lot of money. You can still put money in, but it goes in after tax. You don't get the deductions. Okay. You got a short put vertical on AMAT. Is that a test? Maybe, but not always. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Life of Bel-Air. Richie Rich. Okay. So the Prince of Bel-Air. Qualified tax deductible. A qualified plan means you put the money in. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a put instead of a call. Oh, yeah. Okay. Now I'll come back. So now I got to that question that Alyssa turned. Okay. Now, qualified means that the money goes in pre-tax. So a qualified plan means that you do not pay taxes. You're qualified for a deduction. So if you put money into an IRA or a 401k or something like that, that money comes off your income and it's not taxable. But then when you take it out, you pay tax on everything. Remember, you always, unless it's a Roth, you're going to pay tax on everything at some point. A non-qualified contribution, the money goes in already taxed. And then when you take it out, you're going to be taxed on the growth. So qualified means it's pre-tax, never been touched by taxes. It comes out, you pay tax on everything. You don't pay until you take it out. Non-qualified means you pay tax when you put it in. And then when you take it out, you only pay tax on the growth because you already pay tax on what you put it in. Okay. Right. So Alexa, if you think rates are going down, you buy puts. Like if you think anything's going down, you buy puts. And if you think it's going up, you buy calls. Okay. Okay. Sparkle, I'll see you. Okay. Boom. I love it. Dominique, you and Aaron are going to be next. Okay. What do I get for purchasing premium? If you're taking the SIE, don't worry about it. No. If the only thing you get by buying that is okay, if you buy the membership, all you're getting, right? If it's only a week away, it's probably not worth it. But if you're struggling with options, it's worth it. You get the options video. Plus, we have a class on Friday night and Friday night at 7 and Friday night at 8. However, I just thought of this. I forgot. You get to see all the old classes. Not recently. I don't do them all. But you get to see a lot of the old classes. You can watch them and learn from them a little bit. Okay. Aaron, exactly right. Okay. We do have this. Okay. Reg T. I have a whole video on it, but Reg T. Okay. I'm starting to catch up. Reg T. Oh, yeah. You texted me. So we can go over them on tomorrow night. Okay. Now, Reg T is the Federal Reserve thinks that when you buy stock in a margin account, you have to deposit. That's one of them. You have to deposit 50%, and then you always want to keep 50% in the account. If you're below, it's fine. It's restricted, not a big deal. But if your equity is more than 50%, then you get to actually withdraw that money. It's called SMA. So Reg T is what you have to initially deposit of 50%. But FINRA says never less than $2,000. So if you buy 3,000 in stock, Reg T is 1,500, but you have to deposit $2,000 because you can't deposit less than $2,000 in a margin account. Now the other Reg T, Reg T really has to do anytime you're dealing with customers and broker dealers. So the other Reg T is settlement. Okay. Now the other Reg T is that when you buy stock, you actually have 3 days to pay for it. Okay. When you buy stock on Monday, you have until Thursday to pay for it. Tuesday, you have 3 days to pay for it. If you don't pay for it, they freeze your account for 90 days, which then means you can do any sort of trade. You just cannot. You have to pay for everything up front. You don't get that 3-day grace period. That's Reg T. Reg T is either you have 3 days to pay for any kind of trade, margin or a regular cash account trade, or you have to deposit 50% in the account when you buy shares. Okay. There you go. Kyle, that's it. So by the way, hold on, let me get to this. Okay. Advertising is advertising. Okay. You're actually trying to do it. A tombstone is not advertising because it's missing some stuff. Okay. So they have strict rules on it. Okay. So they have very strict rules on tombstones. Tombstone looks like a tombstone. It's for an offering and you can do it during the registration period. And it says how many shares you're issuing, maybe a range. And it says who we are. And then it says there's not an offer and it lists all the underwriters. So we'll do that again. A tombstone, very strict rules on what can have. It can have the name of the issuer, how many shares, a range of what it's going to be priced at, and the underwriters who you can reach out to buy it from. That's all a tombstone has. Okay. Now, PE ratio, fair. PEG ratio is fine, but that's not on the 7. It won't be on there. On the other exams, maybe, Kyle. Okay. Now, don't anyone look up pegging. Do not Google pegging. I promise you, do not Google it. You will never be the same. Okay. Now, no, I don't. I have other tests. Like we're going through them. I don't have other ones where I made them up. I will do them over time, but I can only do one at a time. Okay. 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 I'm starting to catch up. I'm only 18 minutes behind. Okay. Oh, Leah, there you are. Oh, she's probably gone by now. She gets a good one.
You'll never take me alive. I'm getting high with my 4-5. Cocked on these suckers time to die. Even as a youngster, causing ruckus on the back of the bus. I was a fool all through high school, kicking up dust. But now I'm labeled as a troublemaker. Who can you blame? Smoking weed up, we take away the.
She gets a big one. Third fucking time. Lots of stress, a lot of shit on her, kids, all that crap, and fucking nailed it. I'll be that fucking happy when Aaron and Dominique pass. Okay. Okay. The shit show, baby. Okay. She's so happy now. She was so stressed out. Sunday, I was very worried for her. Okay. Okay. But she's a badass. She beat it. Okay. Okay. This is very easy. Okay. So now, stocks trade either on the exchange, listed, or over the counter. They can trade them both. Bonds trade over the counter, which means not on an exchange. Bonds do not trade on an exchange. Okay. 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 Oh, so this is Vegan Mango Queen. I guess they switched names. Yes, that's awesome. I always wanted to go on an Alaskan cruise, by the way. I always wanted to go on a cruise. I wanted to see fucking polar bears, but it'll never happen. And orcas, whatever. Okay. Megan, they won't ask you how much is each. So, but you do it. Let's say they do. You take the total. So pro golfers don't miss is the acronym to remember pre-sale group designated members. That's the order flow for when a muni comes out. Okay. So when you're paying out, when you're deciding who gets bonds in a muni, you do it that way. So what you do is you start with pro golfers, pre-sale. Those are orders taken before that we won the deal. And you can watch the videos on that. Now, if I have pre-sale orders, they get first dibs on all the bonds. So if I have 1 million bonds and there's 400,000 pre-sale, they get the first 400. Then we go in order. Then the group sale get the next group. If anything's left over, then it goes to designated. Then it goes to member. So that's the order. So if all of them are pre-sale, they're gone. So the way you know is you start with the big number and keep subtracting for each one, and then you end up with what you have. So it will not go to the next box or bucket until everything in the first bucket and second bucket is gone. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can take it again. You can definitely take it again. Okay. Pain. No pain. No pain for you because you passed. That is outstanding. They're probably gone already. Oh, this is a good one.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The color.
That's Michael LaRosa's song. He wants me to play that one every time he passes a test. I swear to God, I hope I never play that for him. Okay. Okay. Alexa's saying, don't yell at me for epic. Okay, now. Oh, I'm only 10 minutes behind now. It's not bad. Okay. So people may still be on here. How many practice exams should I take scoring a mix of low 80s and high 80s? Oh my, so okay. Take one a day. When you pass 3 in a row, book the test for the following week. You got to take one a day, but here's the thing. You got to review the shit out of them. So if you take one a day, no more than that. If it takes you a while to review it, do one every other day. But once you're passing 3 in a row consistently, book the test for a week to 10 days later, and you're going to nail this. Okay. Okay. Epic and IPIC. I don't give a shit about IPIC. I yell it for, I'm telling you right now, the chances of you getting a question about a foreign exporter are almost nil. Because understand something. A foreign exporter is not calling fucking you to fucking hedge for them. They're going to call the broker in their fucking place. So I'm going to go epic. If I am an exporter, so I'm not yelling at you, I'm just yelling. Okay? If I am an exporter, I will buy puts because I'm worried the foreign currency will drop. I buy puts on the foreign currency. If I am an importer, I will buy calls on the foreign currency because I think it's going up. That's the fucking deal. If you really need to remember what a foreign one does for some fucking reason, then just remember they do the exact opposite of the U.S. So if the foreign exporters buy calls, the foreign importers buy puts, that's what IPIC means. EPIC means exporters buy puts, importers buy calls. IPIC, which is just fucking confusing to people, is importers buy puts, exporters buy calls. But that's if they're foreign. Why fucking remember it? Just remember the one. There's only so many questions they're going to ask you on foreign currency shit, and they're probably not going to waste your time on shit that's not going to happen. So a foreign exporter, importer is not calling you from London going, hey, I know that I have one right across the street from me, but I wanted to call another country and do this. That's not fucking happening. Okay. Am I angry enough? Okay. Okay. Devin, you can't. But here's what I tell people to do. If you think, if you're reading a chapter and you think it's something a customer needs to know, you need to know a cold. If you don't think the customer needs to know, you need to know the concept. But read everything. When you say that question, that tells me you're taking a lot of notes. And maybe it's because I'm lazy, but I am not a fan of note taking. I want people to just read the question, read the topic, and move on. And then then kind of get it. Maybe write it down if you don't understand it. Look it up. Also, on that note, so if you're reading, everyone wants to use ChatGPT to help them. And I love it. I think it's great. It'll help you. But do not do it for detail shit. Do not do it for rules and regs because GPT hallucinates. It's like fucking AI and meth, okay? Sometimes they say wrong shit. They still think there's T+2. Sometimes they do NSD rules. They're not even doing FINRA rules anymore. So pay attention. Big picture explaining a CMO or explaining a bond or explaining stock, have at it if you think it's better than mine. But if it's detailed shit, find it in the book. It's much better. But again, just read. Don't fall in that don't focus on taking notes. Okay. Lee, I'm glad you're here. Hope you like the song I got you. Now, okay. Okay, so I love it. Everyone's happy for you. It's awesome. Okay, now. Okay. Now, this is what it is. So it's not so much a why, it's just a memorization. All non-equity options, index options, VIX, currency, interest rate, all trade Euro style. That does it, European style. That doesn't mean they trade in euros or anything. That means you cannot exercise until expiration. That's all it is. American style, freedom, baby. You can exercise anytime you want. Euro style, bunch of fucking socialist communists. They do not let you exercise until the end. Okay? Everyone here is Americans. We're all good. Oh, America, baby. Okay, so now. Yield-based is so interest rate, yield-based, same thing. Inflation, interest rate, index, and VIX. on currency, I think I said that right. All trade European style, which means since they deliver in cash, you cannot exercise until expiration. So all of these options will last to the expiration. Okay. By the way, Dotma, I get it. The offerings and orders is a pain in the ass, but you'll get it. Find my slobs over bliss video. Okay. American versus Euro. Remember, American is freedom. European is Russia. Is soon to be Russia. No, I'm kidding. Is socialist. Okay. Yeah, by the way, Lee, I couldn't say that because I couldn't say that I was worried about you because I think you were on the edge of like having and I've been there. There's a lady who works at Blackwood who I love. Okay. She is a ball buster. Like people get out, she's like really high and people are like, she's a badass, right? And I was teaching to the 24, blubbering mess. Guys, I got guys crying. I got guys freaking out. It's a stressful goddamn time. Okay. Now, they do not ask. Oh, Leah, hold on. This is great. So everyone, I told you to go on there, right? So I have a playlist that is fucking outstanding. You guys got to find it on your own. It's called Challenging Questions. Okay, Jordan, I'll get your answer in a second. It's called Challenging Questions. It's like 4 videos with 3 in each and then 1 extra one. I'm telling you, those are really hard questions that might be on the exam. I'm just throwing it out there. Go check them out. There's a good chance you might see some of them on your exam. I'm not saying they're on the exam. I'm just saying maybe the same style. And I walk you through them and teach you how to do it. So again, if you're taking the 7, find my challenging questions one, and then go find my can you pass it exam. It's the greatest exam I ever wrote in my life. Okay, so now. Again, Alexa, no. They will ask if you buy it on the francs, like when they do the exporter stuff, they're not going to make you do the math. And that's the thing. The vendors love to make you figure out the fucking math on the non-equity options, on the foreign currency options. It's mostly going to be what do you buy, what do you sell. If you think foreign currency is going up, you buy calls. If you think it's going down, you buy puts. If you think the dollar is going up, you buy puts because it's on the foreign currency. If you think the dollar is going down, you buy calls because it goes opposite. They're not going to. They may have it as an answer, like if you have a U.S. exporter sending shit to Switzerland, what do they buy? They buy Swiss franc puts. Okay. And again, that's outstanding. Okay. Jordan. Okay. McKenna, we'll get to that. That's awesome. Okay, so now, yes, they could ask about, remember, combinations are easy. Combinations are just straddles with different strike prices or different months. So treat them the same way. So if you buy a 50 call and buy a 40 put, you just add to the 50 and subtract from the 40. They're not that bad. Just remember this. Butterflies have 4 options, 2 in the middle, 2 on the wings, and they're neutral. That's what you need to know. They are neutral. If you have to do break even on that, it's either you piss someone off at FINRA or it's probably one of the non-testing ones. Okay. McKenna, great question. I love the power of 3. Okay. Now, I always do. There are 3 things. So there are 3 things that are not ordinary income. So remember this. Everything is ordinary income. Everything is ordinary income. Except for 3 things. A buy and a sell, capital gains or capital loss. Option expiration, capital gain or capital loss. And a mutual fund distribution of capital gains. It has to say all of that. Mutual fund distribution of ordinary income, dividends is ordinary income. Everything else is ordinary income. A buy and a sell, or a sell and a buy. Option expiration, and a mutual fund distribution of capital gains. Those are capital gains or losses. Nothing else is. Okay. So if you did the Mathapalooza video, I hope it helped. Look, my daughter was an art history major. Literally, like I tell her, that's a major for people who have rich parents, which I'm not. Okay. So art history is literally a major for people who think their parents are going to pay for their lives for their show. Okay. Now, I'm not saying art is that. That's a talent. Okay. So you have a talent. My daughter liked to do this. So art school, that's fine, but you're good. Now, what I did find is that once my daughter started working at JP Morgan in the hedge funds, since she wasn't a finance major, I never took a finance course, she had more to talk to the customers about than the analyst did. So it's interesting. So I like the diversity of thought and so like I have so many art history policies and procedures and poli-sci and communications and marketing majors coming to me, and I help them because they do well talking to customers. Yeah, can they do a spreadsheet? Maybe not, but AI can do that for you anyway. So in a couple of years, it's the people who can talk to customers that have talent. Okay. So yeah, I do think your institutional knowledge will help you. And the thing is, since you've been in the industry 10 years, you're not 20. So that helps you with the suitability, because I did find, okay, now, I did find, oh, hold on, look, Kyle. That's funny. Club Fed, yeah, he's in Danbury. Or Lompoc. He's playing tennis tomorrow with P. Diddy. Okay, that's my COO, baby. That's Jeff. That's my COO, Kyle. Okay, now, so don't sweat the math too much. But what I'm saying is that if once people are over 30, they understand the suitability a little bit better. They understand retirement, and the big one is they realize that a 50-year-old is not one foot in the grave. I have so many 22-year-olds. I go, "What should you give a 50-year-old?" And they go, "Treasuries." I go, "Fuck you." Okay. Oh, how about this? This is for this will be aging me. I heard a video. And that was a great reaction. This girl goes, "Oh, this is a remix tape that really gives you the vibe of the late 1900s." Meaning like the 1980s and 90s. Does that make you feel old? I was born in the mid 1900s, mid to late 1900s. I was born in. I'm going to use that from now fucking on. I fucking love them. Okay.
People don't know what they're missing with a mixed tape.
I know. They don't even know that. Like you had to sit there and let the radio play and record it, right? And hope the DJ didn't open his fucking mouth while you were recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shut up. Yeah. Howard, shut up. It's like whatever. So, okay. Now, yeah. So Alexa, yeah, I have customer accounts. I have a lot. Go on my Series 7 playlist, and they're all there. The back end. So I think early on is my customer accounts, and then the back in the Series 7 playlist, and the back ones are all going to be for the what do you call it? That's more the Rails and Rice. Okay. Leah, that's awesome. I love it. That's awesome. Okay. Almost verbatim, exactly, because it's not exactly the same thing. I wouldn't want to do that. Okay. Alexis, after 9. I'll do that tomorrow night. Okay, sit down. Okay. Paying this. By the way, did you just pass the exam and had a baby? Boom. If I was in your spot. So I think if you want a bright future for long term.
What would you buy?
I would still do a 529, obviously. Okay? But in reality, if you really want to go nuts, get a side gig. Do something separate, okay? If you're going to run your own portfolio, hire your fucking kid to be a model and pay them $7,000 a year. And load that shit into a Roth IRA, starting at birth. Pay them to be a goddamn model, dump it in a Roth IRA, and here's the thing, and then fucking invest it in S&P, like VU, ETFs, long-term shit. And then every year you put $7,000 into their account based on what they earn. Now remember, you have to pay them. So you have to have like legitimate job, baby model. So that dress them up in flowers and put them on your website, then you're good. You have to have a legitimate job for them. Mowing the lawn doesn't count. That's why I'm in about when we get this thing going, I'm going to hire all our grandkids are going to be working for us. Okay, so now. Even if they're fucking 2. Now, if that's not a case, get a 529. And just pick aggressive growth, stuff like that. Don't do safe shit. Take it. They're young. You have 18 years for shit to happen. Okay. And play the lotto. Okay. Okay. Alexa, I said go look for I plugged it in here. Roll up. Go find my. Is Melville by you, Jeff?
What is it?
Melville?
It's further out.
Okay, because she went to Catherine Gibbs Art School in Melville. Okay. When I think of Melville, I think of Jaws for some reason. Okay, so now I have a CMO video. So I roll up. I did that. I talk about the tranches. It'll take me goddamn forever. Head and Shoulders is literally a technical trading thing. So the stock goes up a little bit, up a lot, and then down. It's bearish. Head and Shoulders is just remember, Head and Shoulders top is bearish, and Head and Shoulders bottom is bullish. It's a technical trading term. They're not going to make you recognize it, but it's a little up, a lot up, and a little up. So it looks like Head and Shoulders. Okay. Okay. ACAT. Okay. An ACAT is when you move from one broker dealer to another as a customer. You fill out the form, and the new firm sends the form to the old firm. The old firm has one day to. Okay. Oh, do you see Kyle Hamill's joke? Okay, so now, you have 1 day to verify or validate, and then 3 days to deliver. Now the old firm. So if I go to Jeff's, say Jeff's at JP Morgan, he brings me over there from Goldman. I'm going to fill out a TF, that's an ACAT. The ACAT's going to go to Goldman to list all my securities, and then Goldman has 1 day to validate and 3 days to deliver the securities to Goldman, to Jeff at JP Morgan. Now, they can decay it for certain reasons. If there's a lien, if they don't know the account or they don't have the stuff in the account. Other than that, they got to, even if they want to convince me to stay, they still have to ACAT the stuff over within 3 days. Okay. Now, did you read the joke?
Yeah.
Pay for the pizza, baby. That's funny. Okay. Okay. God. Okay. There you go. Yeah, the KYC shit. That's good. Yeah, I'm telling you, that stuff's going to help you. Working at a bank helps you a little bit. It gives you, like, the wording is there for you. Okay. Alexa, find my Gorilla Style video. That's where I do all my acronyms. Okay. Okay. UTMA. Okay. Oh, so you would do an UTMA. That's fair. But the problem at UTMA, it's taxable during the life. If you do the 529, it comes out tax-free. I get it. If you have a kid, set up an UTMA for them. That's always an extra thing to do. But remember, the kid pays taxes on that shit every year. But you can do more things in it. That's a good thing. Okay, hold on. Last one, baby. FIRS. Okay. Again, before I do that, Alexa, find my Crash Course playlist. Find my Gorilla Style, and I have an acronym video in there. That's going to help a lot. That's why I did the video. It's an hour of me doing acronyms because I can't remember them all. Okay. Oh, take a shot every time I mention Alexa's name. How about that? And so that's what I'm going to do. Alexa, after you pass, when you study for the 66, I'm going to have a bottle, okay? I'd be dead by now. So I will put a bottle here. And every time she asks a question, I'm going to take a shot. That's what I'm going to do. After she passes Saturday, when she comes on for the 66, when Alexa asks a question, I'm going to take a shot and see if I can make it a whole hour. Okay. Taking the SIE Monday, recommended your channel. Okay. Okay. Oh, Thea, thank you for coming on Friday. I love it. Okay. Feel free to be drunk. It's always more fun that way. See, that's another thing. The class on Friday, people come on after they pass and they give that their feedback. Okay. Okay, for FIRS, so here's what I'm going to say. Okay. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to see you Wednesday, and then after you pass. Now, did I answer McKenna's answer? Did I get to McKenna's thing? I forgot what she asked me. I think I did. Okay. Oh, I did the 3 things. Okay, back to this. So, okay, I appreciate it. Here's my thing. The biggest thing you can do is watch. If you're taking a Monday, you can watch the playlist, but it might take too long. Go on my Crash Course. Watch my Crash Course playlist. So it's not the quick and dirty. It's a bunch. There's like 9 or 10 videos in there. And then any section, watch that thing, take notes, whatever it is. And then I have a few exams where I take them online. Like in the exam walkthrough, I set the link. So if you go on there, you can watch you can take some tests with me, especially the first one. The first one kind of mirrors the style of the SIE exam. And then anything you're weak on, go find my SIE exam playlist and watch that way. Also, if you guys are crunched on time, I have another playlist called Exam. I think it's an intro to the SIE. It's like 6 hours of straight through just me talking about the test. And I'm doing another video on a different test very soon. Okay. Little Gunner, baby. Everyone's taking it. Tomorrow and Friday is going to be a big day. There's going to be a lot of fucking people on Friday with passes. I fucking love it. Okay. I fucking love it. Okay. Everyone, I think we're good. I think I got all the questions, and I got about 80% of Alexa's questions done. And I got to take a shot right there. Go. Okay. Everyone, good luck. Before I go, I want everyone to type in as quick as they can. I'm going to pass. Do that. Make me feel good before we leave. I'm going to put my funny video on while you all say we're going to pass. This is my favorite thing. This is going to be all of you. You know what I'm going to play, right? This is going to be all of you tomorrow, Thursday, Friday.
Jesse, how have you been? I've been great. I'm back, and you're fired. Now need to run. Your fates have already been sealed. You're safe.
Oh my God.
You're safe for now. Hello, nice to see you. Who's your best client?
Jesus.
I represent John and Kate Pussy.
Where are you, Davies?
All right. I'm already packing to save myself the indignity.
That's too bad.
Ari, Jesus Christ! Did you lost your mind, Ari?
Now where's Lloyd Lee?
Mr. Lee knew that you were coming, Mr. Gold. He decided not to wait for your arrival.
Now why don't I believe you? Now Lloyd, maybe you're not here. Maybe you are. Either way, you have nothing to fear because I'm not gonna kill you. I love you. You see, even though you betrayed me, you were the best.
Boom. There we go. That's how everyone's going to go through this like a bad bitch. Everyone, we're going to fucking pass. Dominique, Leah, yes. I knew you knew this stuff. So let me make it very clear. I knew you knew this stuff, but I was thinking that you were going to spin out. That was the only thing. And that happens to a lot of people. Like I have a lot of students where they go, they're good, but they get in their own way. And I was very worried because there was such a lot of, but listen, this is the thing. Pressure makes fucking diamonds, right? So you took the pressure and fucking came out of that. I wish I had thought of that my own, but yeah, it fucking does. So just keep that in mind that you rock this thing, even under the damn pressure. Boom. Yeah, vegan. After your cruise, you will absolutely pass. I love it. That shit. Okay, I think that works. Okay. No, no, yeah. Do mine. If at nighttime, do mine. Kaplan's gonna drive you nuts. Don't do any tests late at night. I am not a friend of taking tests at night. Once a night, if you have no choice, it's fine. But if you have to choose before work or after work, I'm a big fan of doing stuff before work. Okay. I think that's good. I think we're on a good note. I think we got some damage on it. Almost 90 minutes in here. That's crazy. But it's funny how long I took to get through the first 9 minutes of questions, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. Everyone, watch my videos. Check me out. We'll see you next Tuesday. And